let's talk about the big trade here. So Micah Parsons, we've talked about this a little bit on the show, where he's basically wanted a new contract. There's all kinds of allegations that got thrown out, basically him saying that basically Jerry Jones was trying to go around the agent and just go ahead and do a one-on-one with him and get this whole deal done. And obviously Micah Parsons didn't like that. Let's be honest, Jerry Jones has some issues as a GM. And as Giant fans, we love it. We absolutely love it. Stay for life, Jerry. Hope you live a long, long life. Okay.
Well, he has. That's the problem.
I know. He's like the Al Davis now of the NFC. Like, remember when Al Davis was like just drafting the fastest player in the draft? Like, that's what it basically was. Like, it's absolutely insanity. So this has been going on now for a while. The last preseason game, literally, Micah Parsons was lying down saying he hurt his back. The last preseason game, like it's gotten embarrassing point blank for the Cowboys. And say what you want about Jerry, and we talk trash about him all the time because, quite frankly, he's a joke at this point. But the man loves his team, and I think that was kind of a hit to the ego. There was all rumors the last couple of days that the Packers were looking to go ahead and get Micah Parsons, and that Cowboys didn't really want to go ahead and make that trade because Packers have taken them out of the playoffs like 3 of the last 10 years, like that. So trade happened though today, guys. Absolutely craziness here. Micah Parsons is officially out of the NFC East, gone to the Packers, and guys, this is going to be easily one of those trades that years later we're going to look back and go, this was either the worst trade they could have possibly made, or I'll throw it as an option because Jerry's kind of suggesting it. He's suggesting it's like the next like Herschel Walker trade at that point for the Cowboys. I don't see that happening. They ended up getting 2 first-round picks along with Kenny Clark, which I got to say, Kenny Clark, guys, is a good defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Like
he's getting older, but
he's getting a little long in the tooth there. Deb's bringing the politics in the chat.
Yeah.
Deb, you know the rules.
So funny.
It is hilarious, but it's just but yeah. So listen, Kenny Clark again, good player, 3-time Pro Bowler. He is a good player, and I think the Giants would have taken. Let's be honest, we would take him in a heartbeat on our team. So let's not suggest otherwise for a second here. Okay, that's the kind of player he is. He ain't no Micah Parsons.
No, I think the way the Cowboys handled this whole situation was terrible because if you knew, I mean, you should have traded him in March if you were going to trade him. I know they were trying to get a contract done, and now this whole situation just kept getting worse and worse throughout these past few months. But you also trade him to the Packers where you get these 2 firsts, but at best, what are these first rounders going to be? Not above pick 20. I don't think they're going to be any higher than that. So to me, I don't see it being like the Herschel Walker trade. And I think it's just, shows how bad of an owner Jerry Jones is and just confirms it.
Oh, he's a great owner. Stick around, Jerry. Stick around, Jerry.
But
here we go.
Great owner.
But, Drew and I were talking offline, like right when this trade happened, like, we called each other, and you have to think about it too. You get 2 first-round picks, right? It gives you draft capital. You may not take those picks to make the picks, but you may use those picks to trade up for a pick, which makes sense for the Cowboys if they want another quarterback. Yeah. Right? Because Dak's getting up there in age. And you want to get rid of the old man Dak, if you will, like, and have him going off, right into the sunset, if you will.
Yeah.
On his high horse. But you also got to think about, like, Green Bay as well. Like, they usually don't sign these big contracts. They typically rely on their farm, if you will.
Yeah.
And it shows Green Bay. I mean, the division they're in as well. Get away from the East, but like look at the North. They have to go Detroit twice a year. They have to go against Minnesota twice a year. I mean, do you really have to consider Chicago a big threat? But I mean,
Chicago.
But this year they're saying Cleve is coming too. I mean, how much after that? But so they're making preparations in their division to play better against these high offenses. There's at least what's supposed to be high power offenses. And now we have to look at it like down the road for us. Like does the Cowboys actually get a good quarterback in the next couple of years using these draft picks? Do they pick up like a lot of new talent, young talent at a cheap rate that's going to be around for the next 10 years or 10 years? A trend.
And this is, like you said, exactly what you and I talked about. We called each other up and we saw this trade because Dak Prescott, guys, for those who aren't aware of how those contract works, they basically have to keep him next year because of the cap. And we're talking, again, next year being 26, not the upcoming 25. The other option is they can do a post-June 1st cut on him, basically break even, which doesn't make much sense. But it means you can go ahead and you have 2 first-round picks in 26, 2 in 27 now. And you could potentially trade up, get a quarterback in a very quarterback-rich draft here to go ahead and get your quarterback of the future. So that's the one thing that I'm like, okay, I can kind of see the plan here to a certain degree because this is, again, supposedly going to be that kind of draft. We'll find out. We never know until always the next draft is the quarterback-rich draft every year. This is the one, except, of course, with the year of Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis. We knew that was crap. But otherwise, every single year, the next year is the year of quarterbacks. The next year, this is the next year. Even with the great class we had of rookies quarterbacks last year, people were talking up to the draft like, oh, maybe these guys aren't as good as we think they are. Next year is going to be a great year. Like, every goddamn year. So here's what I think about, though. If they're not doing that, and again, we don't know what's in Jerry's head. I don't think Jerry knows what the hell's in Jerry's head half the time. But it's mostly black and white cartoons of Mickey Mouse and the Steamboat. With that.
I was about to Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, exactly. But if you go back into the guys that they've gotten in their first-round picks, and I'm talking about the Packers here, this is what you're potentially basically trading to go ahead and get Micah Parsons. Again, along with Kenny Clark, who's a good player. This year, first-round pick, Matthew Golden, who, Ryan, I don't know what your thoughts are. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but Rob and I point blank said he'd be the bust of this draft potentially. Like, we did not like him at all. Like, just didn't produce in the field. Great athletic guy, just didn't produce in the field.
Yeah, I agree.
Year before that, Jordan Morgan. A year before that, Luke Van Ness, who's probably going to lose snaps to Micah Parsons, let's be honest. Year before that, the latter pick, I'm using pick 28, Devontae Wyatt, another defensive end. Would you trade Micah Parsons for Kenny Clark, Matthew Golden, and Jordan Morgan?
No. But the thing with that is, with the Cowboys, I don't know who. Obviously, we don't know who they're gonna. Who is even coming out in the draft really necessarily yet. Yeah. When they have these 2 picks, we don't know how these 2 picks are gonna turn out. And with the way you presented that trade, definitely not. That's terrible, and that's the concern because you're looking at it like that. They traded him for pretty much scrubs and a guy that you have low hopes on, but you don't know how he's going to be yet with Matthew Golden. But even if they end up using these 2 picks and trading up for a quarterback that they think could be their franchise quarterback, you don't know if he ends up being the guy. With Parsons, he was a clear generational talent, and you just pretty much gave him away.
Yeah. And that's what it's all going to be about, is if they use that move to get a quarterback in the future and that guy pans out, then I can see Dallas being, okay, this was the right move. Yeah. Look who we got. He's the quarterback for the next 10 years, whatever the case may be.
And then you didn't have to pay Parsons that crazy contract.
Yes, which the Packers, by the way, are front-loading the hell out of because they have the cap.
Yeah, big time.
So that's a big part, as we should say as well. But like I said, just from a
was it $62 million first year?
Something like that the first year. So it's insane. Like, they're just
out of $188 million.
So
nuts.
Yeah. So guys, it's going to take probably 5 years to know if this was a good trade, based on if they go ahead and get a quarterback with those draft picks. Now, if they just get regular players, I think it's safe to say that there's no way in hell the Cowboys win this.
It depends. Exactly. It depends how they use this.
Yeah.
Do the Cowboys stink? Do they get 6 wins this year? Get a good draft pick, and then because now Green Bay has Parsons, they typically make the playoffs or pretty close to it almost every year. Do they give them pick 18? Do they give him pick 30? Where does Green Bay go? Yeah,
and that's the thing, though. The Packers are always that playoff team. It's been what,
they're close to it.
The last 30 years they haven't gotten to the playoffs, so it's you're not getting great picks in this.
I mean, even look at them last year, right? So you had the best team in the NFC last year, and then you had the best wild card pick in that division, and the Green Bay still made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Like, so even still, like last year, like, what were they? What was the draft pick? 22 or something like that? 23?
24 or something like that.
Yeah.
In that
So
area.
like,
yeah.
to give that up in the first round, and let's see what Dallas does. Like, do they tank this year? Is that what they're like? Is this what we're going to expect?
Yeah.
But you just paid Dak so much, so you can't really expect that. But like, where do they draft? So like, if they get, another 10 wins this year, where does that leave them in draft picks? So you're going to trade up round first pick at 16 and then 28. How far ahead are you going to get?
All I know is I am feeling a lot more confident going into week 2.
Damn straight.
That's exactly what I said to Drew earlier.
And here's a really interesting wrinkle to this for me. Micah Parsons literally went back to Jerry before this trade happened and said, let's get this done. And the Cowboys went back to him and said, play year 5 or you're gone. That's literally what they said to him. And that's according to Adam Schefter. Like, I'm paraphrasing. That wasn't the exact verbiage, obviously. But that's insanity. Like, the guy literally wanted to play for you, one of the best pass rushers in the game. Regardless of what you think of the Cowboys, let's be honest here. That's insanity.
That notification, I like these past few days, it seemed more and more like he, that account with the red hat, Ricky, he's reporting this, and now he's confirmed, a legit source. But I never really thought this was actually going to happen. And when I got the notification, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear a whole bunch of rumors this time of year, like
Yeah.
who's going to trade where, and especially when you're talking about one of the best defensive players out there. Like,
Yeah.
of course, there's going to be trade talk, especially like build onto this dilemma. Even if there wasn't any like
with
hardship.
McLaurin,
Yeah.
and McLaurin ended up staying. So I thought it was just kind of going to be the same thing, but
Well, you weren't going to get 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark from McLaurin.
No.
Yeah.
It's a slight difference in the abilities there. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. So we'll have to see what happens in that. Time will tell. Overall, I mean, everything on paper you think in the beginning, and they go, "Oh, what the hell?" Like, same as the Giants, we were pissed when we got from the Browns in the end for the OBJ trade. Looking back on it, we got Dexter Lawrence. We won that deal.
Yeah.
You just never know. You hit one player out of that group, and next thing you know, you got something. So we'll see. All I know is this Giants offensive line should be able to handle those Cowboys week 2.
Yeah, I saw their lineup on defense now without Parsons. It looks awful.
Oh, it's terrible.
I mean, really, besides the corners, they have nothing on defense at this point there. And one of those corners is so banged up, we don't even know what's left of them.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2 Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.